Contact me at timscomputerfix.net to find out how you can ship me your laptop for repair. Guys, Tim here, timscomputerfix.net. A follow-up video of a video I've done before where I pulled a water cooler loop out of a desktop computer that the pump had failed on, and I need to use the reservoir here to fill in the blank 5 1/4 inch dry bays. And so I just figured I'd make a little video here to kind of let's have a look at what happens to a water cool system over a period of several years. So those of you who have questions about water cool, or should I or shouldn't I use water cool, or what have you, and even I want to talk about those closed loop water cool systems where you can't even see the fluid at all in there. One thing that I wanted to bring up again is the fact that since I've done custom water cooled computers myself, and I own one or two, I've done a few of them, but where we use this clear tubing and a reservoir that shows you fluid, I can tell you for certain 2 or 3 times a year I have to go back in and fill this reservoir, because by nature that fluid that's in here evaporates. Even though it's a sealed unit, even though it doesn't leak, it still does evaporate from the system very slowly. And as you can see here, that's the first thing that this customer complained about, and he was wondering, you know, why all of a sudden is his reservoir not as full as it was when he got it. It was all the way to the top. So that's one thing. And I beg to ask, the same thing happens in closed loop systems that you buy. The closed loop systems that you can't even see the fluid. How do you know when it's getting low? It is happening. It's not that they make it special where it don't do that. So that's one quirk that I have with the closed loop systems that you purchase. Over time, how do you know you're not running dry? So here's another thing that I was concerned about with closed loop systems, any water cool systems for that matter. You have to periodically flush it out. I would say at least once a year I would drain the fluid, flush it, because look, here's what happens. See this here, this stuff, it's a little blurry, sorry. Focus, baby, focus. See this stuff? This stuff here is naturally occurs in water loop systems, and I don't care what, you know, fluid that you're using. You know, they say, you know, distilled water or what have you, blah blah blah. It does not matter. Over time there's a buildup of just, you know, sediment buildup that happens no matter which water cool you use, no matter which water cool system that you use. And I'm even talking about the basic, you know, even the good stuff, the Phasor 1 water cool stuff, man. I mean, this is what's being used in here. This is specifically built. It's a high quality name, and it's a quality liquid, and it's a quality solution for your water cool systems, top of the line. And that does still happen. It still happens. So what I would like to know is, and I've never really done this before, even though you can flush the system and blah blah blah, you know, as you can see, you can shake this, it'll get wet, but it's still there, stuck. So I am curious. I'm just curious. I'm wondering if there's any buildup in our loop anywhere, or in our water block, or perhaps in our radiator. I'm not gonna be able to tell that. But I gotta drain this anyway, so I figured I'd make a little video here to kind of have a look, and yeah, just kind of show you guys what I find. Right, so as you can see here, I just have a pan, and this pan is basically just, I was using it for whatever, cleaning parts or whatever, car parts and what have you, just to try to contain this liquid. That green stuff does stain a bit, so be sure you use a rag that you're not worried about or that you need. Okay, but the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to remove these 2 loops here. pretty much just remove them. So, and right now they just look like they're clamped on with zip ties. Okay. I don't know if I'll be able to pull them off the barb, or if I'll have to just cut the hose off. I would rather just pull them off, but let's just crack this open. Okay, that's them two. And let's see if we can pull this stuff off here. It's on there pretty good. I figured it would be. Yeah, there we go. It broke. Let's see if I can pull that off. Ooh. It's on there pretty good. I kind of figured it would be. Here we go. Here we go. All right, there's that. Here comes our bottom one. And there's that. So far, no mess. Everything's in the reservoir, it looks like. And just notice, here we go. Look at that. Oh, I'm seeing all sorts of sediment in here. Woo, that has a righteous smell. Dang. Goodness. I'm going to pour the next one. I'm going to try to dump into a clear cup or something. Oh, that's rank. It smells awful. It does smell bad. But I am seeing, I don't know if you guys can, but I am seeing all sorts of sediment that came out of there. So what I'm going to do, and then notice, I mean, it does turn your tubing, you know, no surprise, I guess, a grayish color or whatever, weird dark green color whenever you dump it. But what I would like to do is I want to dump some of this radiator out into a clear cup or something so we can kind of see the sediment that's been floating around in that loop. Okay, since it was just kind of hard to see the stuff coming out of there, I'm going to use a clear glass to dump this into. And so let's just try to, this will be interesting. I'll kink this line maybe. Well, let's see. I'm just going to have to pick it up. Let's see what I can do here. Let's see if I can get some fluid out of this radiator into this glass. Come on, there we go. Drain, drain, drain. Wow, why that stopped. We got some more in this one. Back pressure is what it is. Let's see. There we go. Let's see. Bear with me here, guys. I don't want to spill this either. Oh! Let's just have a look at that little bit. Okay? I just put see if you can get a look at this. I don't know if you can quite see this. There is tons of sediment floating around in this. I don't know how well you can see it on camera. It's just floating all around in there. Sediment. Some type of sediment. Not sure. You can see it floating around. So, and I mean, that's not uncommon, that's normal. Yeah, and that's just that little bit. So that does show that there is sediment buildup in these loops. I'm going to go ahead and try to drain the rest of this, because I would like to crack open this water block. Let's take a look at that. let's crack open this water block and let's see how let's see if there's any buildup in the fins inside this water block. Let's do that. This pan was fairly clean, didn't have any kind of extra debris in it. It's just got some streaks of leftover oil. But I want to show everybody the sediment that's in this pan from that reservoir. Off here, let's have a look. I'm going to see. Hopefully I'll find that there's not a lot of buildup. Hopefully we'll find that out. There is buildup in these fins right here. You can see that though, and that's where the water flows through, actually, through these little grooves, and there is buildup. You can see it. See that? So, I mean, that's just over, what, a few years? So, I would imagine that would just get worse. I know some water blocks are larger and they have, like, deep fins. So, I've got a water-cooled unit here in my shop that's been running 2 separate loops for 10 years. And it does have sediment buildup. So, when the time comes for me to retire that computer, I'm going to do a video on that. We're going to crack that guy open and see, but there is buildup, and I'd imagine over time that would start to affect the flow of fluid through these grooves. But yeah, could have been worse. But then again, it's only been a few years, and I don't know what the radiator looks like in there. I'm not going to cut that open. So I want to show everybody here in this pan, if you can see all the sediment floating around in there? I mean, that's just from the reservoir and from the radiator. So that's what's floating around in your water loop. Anyways, guys, just a little curiosity there. I was wondering the same thing, and it was pretty interesting to find this out. It's just something just to think about next time you guys run out and buy a closed loop water system. I would rather, if you're going to do water, I would rather have it to where you can see your water in a reservoir and you can fill it. A lot of those closed loops don't even give you a way to refill your fluid. So yeah, just something to think about when you buy in a closed loop water cooled system. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Tim'sComputerFix.net. See you next time.